Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes with me, Lindsay Milner. This week's book is called Untamed and it is by Glennon Doyle. Subtitled Stop Pleasing, Start Living. So this author, she's an American author and she's previously written a couple of other memoirs. And one of them was about exploring her relationship with her faith. Now, as many of you probably know, I'm an atheist, so anything that talks a lot about religion is not really my thing. This book, however, doesn't focus majorly on her religion. It does kind of come into it a little bit in places, but it's not really about that. What it's about is her realisation that she was living according to everybody else's rules. Society, her family, the church, and not being true to herself. So the book is in 3 sections. The first section is called Caged, and it's about how she felt imprisoned by the things that she was doing, the way she was living her life or trying and failing to live her life. The unhappiness led to addictions and bulimia and how that made her feel. The second part of the book is what she calls her keys to becoming free. The keys to living to your own rules, to living your own best life and being true to yourself. The third part of the book, that's the longest section, and that's a lot of stories about how this plays out in her life, how she adapts and becomes more true to herself as she goes on. So it's very readable. The story of her life is that she divorced her husband in favour of beginning a relationship with a woman. And although that's her story, it's not really the key point of the book. The key principle really is the fact that she stopped doing what other people expected of her and started to do things that felt true to her. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the middle section where these are her 4 keys to being true to herself. So the first part is called Feel, and this is about learning to recognise and to accept your emotions and to get in touch with your emotions. The second part, let me just remind myself what that is called. It is called Know. So that's about tapping into your intuition. This is about listening to what you really want, listening to yourself. She does talk in there about being still and allowing your intuition to talk to you. She does touch a little bit here on whether she's in touch with God in this part, and for her, because she has that faith, she feels like it is beginning to tap into the guidance from God, from her faith. But then she kind of flips that around actually and says it's not some big all-seeing, all-knowing God that's out there. It's more about her getting in touch with how God feels inside her. So about her own, what she wants from her life and what she believes is right. The third part is called Imagine, and that's about imagining what would happen, what it would be like if you were absolutely true to yourself, if you were to be the best person that you could be. And the fourth part, she talks about, it's called Let It Burn. So basically that's about how to let go of the things in your past, the things that you were doing, how to become a better you as you live your life. She uses this phrase, being the most true, the most beautiful you, can have the truest, most beautiful life that you can. And what she says is that she wants that for herself, but she wants it for everybody. She talks about, it's not about never changing, it's not about just being as things are, it's about learning how to live to your values, live to your truest, most beautiful self every day. So, and then the third part is the longest section. It's lots of small chapters about how that plays out in her life. since she made the decision to do so. It's a readable book. It's small chapters on the whole, and I certainly enjoyed reading it while I was reading it. I followed this up very quickly with The Dreaming Path, and I have to say, of the two, The Dreaming Path is probably my favourite. Obviously that comes from a different culture, from the Australian Aborigine culture, whereas Glennon Doyle is, she's in the US. It's a very US centric culture. That's not to say it's not readable for other cultures. It is quite a readable book. But of the two, I definitely preferred The Dreaming Path. However, if you resonate with any of the things that she says in here, then I do think that this book is well worth a read. The similar messages to The Dreaming Path, very much about how, you know, your values and your impact on the planet, your impact on the people around you, all those things are of key importance, and that's the most important thing really for us living our lives. So I would say whichever of the two cultures appeals to you the most, or if you want to maybe try looking at something from a different culture, from the Aborigine culture, either of these books are worth a read. So that is Untamed. It's by Glennon Doyle, and it's called Stop Pleasing, Start Living. That's this week's book. I will see you next time. Bye.